Steelers by the lake, wouldn't know what to say. James Strong, Cody Tanner, hosts on the mic. About to dive in deep, keep it live, that's right.
Welcome to the Steelers by the Lake podcast. My name is James Strong, joined once again by my co-host Cody Tanner. Cody, how are you on this fine Friday evening?
James, I am doing all right. It is Friday evening. We are going to go over the Jets-Steelers game and talk about what's to come. But James, how are you doing?
Doing good, man. Doing good. Getting through things. So
There we go. We have a very small list of things to talk about before that we go over the preview for this Sunday Night Football game. Offensive tackle Dylan Cook did begin his 21-day window to return from the IR. He did practice this week. He was even full practice today, but he is listed as out. We'll get to that shortly. And then, James, the conversation is buzzing all over Russell Wilson or Justin Fields. One insider thinks he knows who's going to start.
that insider being George Pickens, which is ironic because like 10-15 minutes before this interview, Mike Tomlin did not give the media an answer as to who he was going to start, which is smart because it doesn't matter if you know inside the building. You want to keep them preparing for both quarterbacks so that they can't spend all their time on one of them. And George Pickens decided to leak it, which I'm sure will get him in trouble. And he will not do that again in the future. Hopefully we don't have these kind of conversations again in the future as to who's going to be the man. So it appears as though if George Pickens is correct, we will get our first start from Russell Wilson. So once again, as the Steelers face the Jets, we get a new quarterback. That was the initial game for Kenny Pickett, his rookie season. He came in at halftime versus the Jets to try to save the day. Threw 3 interceptions that day.
Yeah, we're gonna see what happens. A lot of people are saying, I can't remember the one insider specifically or the one analyst said it's gonna be hard for Mike Tomlin to face that locker room if they lose this game. If you go with a new quarterback and then you lose, or especially if it's a bad loss. You know, how do you go back in there and face that locker room and say, hey, fellas, we're going to stick with Russell Wilson? Because you can't throw him in there for one game and then just take him out if he plays bad.
No.
Like, you can't.
No, you really can't.
and something that I haven't seen talked about as much on social media or the mainstream media as I thought I was going to see was how much of this is because of the conditional draft pick we're sending Chicago. If Justin Fields plays 51% of the snaps, we're sending a 4th round pick instead of a 6th round pick. So how much of this, transitioning to Russell Wilson is because of that, if any? That's something that definitely can be questioned. You're 6 games into a 17-game season, and Justin's the only one that's taking snaps at quarterback. So that is a conversation to be had.
I find it difficult to think that they would be that worried about the difference in 2 rounds to bench their starting quarterback. I think this has a lot more to do with the fact that in the offseason, you acquired Russell Wilson first. You said, this is our guy. You acquired Justin Fields to be the backup quarterback. He has done a better than average job as a backup quarterback, winning 4 out of 6 games. Let's call it what it is. If your backup quarterback wins 4 out of 6 starts, he did pretty good. But what they're looking for is a little bit more on offense, and they're hoping that Russell Wilson can get that spark and get the passing game going to the potential of what it could be.
So if he's 6-0, do you think this happens?
There's no way in hell.
Okay.
There's no way in hell you bench him. Yeah, not a chance.
I was just curious. There was a very good possibility of us going 6-0. We could have won both those games we lost. So that's very interesting and just processing that. We're going to go over the injury report for both teams real quick. James, would you like me to do Pittsburgh?
Yeah, you can take the honors with Pittsburgh per the usual.
All right. With that being said, running back Najee Harris listed on the injury report with a ribs injury. Didn't participate on Wednesday. Was full participation the last 2 days. We do expect him to play. DeMonte KZ, the safety, with an ankle injury. didn't participate on Wednesday, limited on Thursday, full participant today. Expect him to play. Nick Herbig with that hamstring injury didn't participate Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday. Is going to be out with that injury. Zach Frazier didn't participate all week with the ankle injury. Expect him not to play. Alex Highsmith also with the groin injury, limited on Wednesday, full participant the last 2 days, but already is listed as out. They're trying to be safe and careful with that groin injury. Don't expect him to go this week. Isaac Siamalu was non-injury related, resting on Wednesday, full participant the last 2 days. Michael Pruitt with that knee injury that's been going on, fully participated all week. Expect him to be available if needed. Cordero Patterson, running back / kick returner, out, didn't participate all week with that ankle injury. And then you also have Roman Wilson with the hamstring, limited participation on Thursday and Friday, listed as questionable. Dylan Cook listed as out, even though he was a full participant on Friday with that foot and knee injury that he's been dealing with. Montravius Adams, defensive tackle, knee injury, limited participation on Friday, questionable for the game. And then you have the typical TJ Watt, Cameron Hayward, Larry Ogunjobi, all in non-injury related resting days on Wednesday, as well as for Cameron Hayward Thursday as well. So those guys will be a go. But James?
Yeah. Real disappointment about Alex Highsmith. We were told this might be the week we get him back. So
Yep.
that's rough. But at the same point in time, I'm glad that they're holding him back until he's 100%. If he's not ready next week, man, don't play him next week either. Give him that extra couple of weeks. Let's see if he's back after the bye week. It's more important that when he's back, he's healthy. You don't want to have the same situation we had with Cam Hayward last year, where they needed him so bad that they rushed him out there and he was playing at 50% at best.
Yep.
So
hurts the team more than it helps.
Yeah. With the long-term goal to get into the playoffs and make some noise and win a game or two, maybe even do something more than that. You need a healthy Alex Highsmith. So very important that they're patient with that injury there. On the flip side of things, the New York Jets starting their injury list off with Michael Carter II, who's their starting nickel corner. He is out in this game, has a back injury. It's been plaguing him all week, was unable to participate in practice. He's not playing. Cornerback DJ Reed did not participate Friday with a groin injury, hasn't practiced all week. He's listed as questionable. If he does play, there's no way in the world he's all the way healthy.
Nope.
So that could be something for Pittsburgh to exploit with a couple corners down or playing injured for them. Aaron Rodgers has an ankle, but he's a full go. He'll play. Mike Williams has been rested as a personal reason. From what I understand, this has everything to do with the acquisition of Davante Adams. Mike Williams is now the odd man out.
Yep.
And maybe looking to be traded. And apparently Pittsburgh has requested some preliminary talks with the New York Jets about that. So might be something we talk about more next week, but definitely not anything going to happen between today and the game.
Nope.
Tyler Conklin, the tight end, has a hip injury. He was a full go, though. Edge rusher Will McDonald IV has a shoulder, but he was a full play. Offensive lineman Morgan Moses with a knee full. Tyron Smith, the also offensive lineman, they're just giving him a rest day. Chaz Surratt, the linebacker, has a heel injury. They're calling him questionable. He was a full participant. I imagine he's going to play through that. Davante Adams is listed with a hamstring, but that is all BS. That was just to get his way out of the Oakland, or not the Oakland, but the Las Vegas Raiders roster and not have to play the last couple of weeks. He's been a full go, which is crazy. If you had a hamstring that you couldn't even participate limited and then you go full, that was 100% BS. So Davante will be playing Pittsburgh on Sunday.
He might have been injured, but he the hamstring might have been a problem, but he definitely made it a bigger deal moving forward. So now it's time to take a look at their depth chart. The Davante Adams news is so fresh that the NFL has not updated their depth chart, but we obviously know Davante Adams is starting, so we'll get to that. James, offensive side of the ball, starter Aaron Rodgers, backed up by Tyrod Taylor. Don't expect to see Tyrod in this game unless barring something crazy happening. I'm not even going to knock on wood. With that being said, wide receiver Davante Adams expected to start. Mike Williams is listed there, but I don't know if he's going to play or not. Alan Lazard, Garrett Wilson will both get good playing time, as well as Malachi Corley. Xavier Gibson and Irvin Charles also listed as backup wide receivers. Tight end room, Tyler Conklin, obviously on the injury list. He is listed as questionable, but if he doesn't go, they also have Jeremy Ruckert and Brandon Bates in that tight end room backing those guys up. Running back Breece Hall, very dangerous running back out of the backfield and running. Obviously, as a running back, he's dangerous in that territory. And then offensive line, Tyron Smith listed as that left tackle. Again, he is on that injury list for vet rest. The contusion to the birth certificate is what James likes to call it. And then left guard, John Simpson, center, Joe Tippmann, right guard, Elijah Vera Tucker, and then right tackle, Morgan Moses. Again, Morgan Moses dealing with that knee injury as well. So both starting tackles with some kind of injury or non-injury resting happened throughout this week. Hopefully we can get a good push on that interior offensive line. James, you want to go over defense?
Yeah, I'm going to go over defense. Big thing from what I understand, Aaron Rodgers not this year.
Say that again?
Some people, Aaron Rodgers not moving well.
Yep.
So he's really struggling with mobility this year, which was a calling card of his. He was a very mobile quarterback in his younger years. So not all the way recovered as he would have you assume from this Achilles injury. Also, I've heard people say it's kind of noticeable, the difference in size of the muscle structure in the one leg versus the other. So he definitely had some major muscle atrophy during that time off.
Yep.
Tough to recover that quickly, you know. An Achilles is usually a 2-year injury. Him just coming back is quite the accomplishment. But at that age, I don't know if he's ever going to have matching legs again. So making him move, making him throw a run might be extremely important this week. Defensive side of the ball, the edge rushers, Will McDonald IV and Michael Clemens, the starters with Eric Watts and Tack McKinley backing them up. Will McDonald's having himself a real nice start to the season with a large number. I want to say he's got like 7 sacks or something already on the season. Interior defensive
he does
lineman,
have 7 and 2 forced fumbles.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yep.
Defensive lineman Quinnen Williams, Kinlaw, the names are big. The play so far this season from them, according to their own reporters, has not been. Apparently, Javon Kinlaw getting pushed around in the run game quite a bit, and Quinnen Williams just not having a good year so far. And they're not blaming it on injury, just not playing well. So an important week for our interior guys to hold up against these guys, maybe bully them around a little bit, get that run game moving. The linebacker core for this team, 3 off-ball linebackers because they run 4-3 defense. So we've got Jamie Sherwood, CJ Mosley, and Quincy Williams slated as the starters. Chaz Surratt, one of the backups, along with Sam Eguioven. I'm positive I nailed that.
Iguavian.
Yeah, definitely.
Sure, we'll go with that one.
There we go. Definitely the right pronunciation. So some move guys. We got some quick guys on that linebacker core there, which is typical of a 4-3. They're usually smaller, faster dudes.
Yep.
In the secondary, you're going to some names here that sound very familiar because we just talked about them on the injury list. Obviously, Sauce Gardner, their number 1 corner. He is an absolute stud, tall, long, fast, everything you want in a corner. If you've been listening to us for a number of years, I was drooling over him through the pre-draft process. Wanted him in a Pittsburgh Steelers uniform in the worst way.
And confirm.
As the draft got closer, we realized he was going to go like top 5, and there was no way Pittsburgh was going to get him.
Can confirm.
But yeah, I wanted him real bad. Opposite him is going to be DJ Reed. We saw him on the injury report. Then the starting nickel corner, Michael Carter II. So banged up secondary. Their backups are going to be Brandon Eccles at the nickel. The backup outside corners, Quantez Stiggers and Jarek Bernard Converse. I think Stiggers is the guy from Canada.
Is he?
I think he's the guy that went high school, Canada, and then pro.
Solid. Yeah, college was Toronto Argonauts.
Yeah, he didn't go college route. He knew that he only needed to not be in high school for 3 years, and then he was eligible to go pro. So he went and played pro ball up in Canada for a few years.
Fair
instead.
Enough. And don't forget that nickel corner Michael Carter II or the second is already listed as out. So we will see Brandon Eccles.
Yeah. Then the remaining guys in the second, Ashton Davis and Tony Adams, with the backup listed as Isaiah Oliver at both safety positions.
Interesting.
So it's pretty much sauce. You
It
just
is
gotta look
sauce.
out for sauce.
That secondary
Yeah,
sauce.
Know where sauce is. Throw away from him. That sucks for George Pickens because he's probably going to have sauce
be
draped all
blanketed.
over him the whole game.
Blanketed.
Yeah. So it could be a real big game for the other guys if we're able to spring them open and find them in the secondary, because those guys could be running free all day long against the secondary.
Yep, 100%. Special teams of these guys. Greg Zerloin is the listed kicker. Thomas Morstead is the punter and holder. And then punt returner Xavier Gibson, backed up by Isaiah Davis. Both those guys are starting at both punt return and kick return. And then long snapper, James, because they matter too, Thomas Hennessy. So, lovely list here. Listen, Sunday Night Football, Jets, Steelers, it's going to happen this week. It's going to be a game.
It is. It is. And hopefully there's not an hour and a half delay in this one.
Yeah, that was rough.
You know who we should tell that long snappers matter?
I'm guessing a team from Ohio.
The Bengals.
The
They need to
Bengals.
talk about that, man.
Just ask them about it. Just ask them if long snappers matter. With that being said, that wraps up talking about the roster, talks about injuries. James, it's our time to share our 3 keys to success. It's my turn to go first, James, which is exciting.
Yes, it
I'm
is.
probably going to steal some from you, and I'm excited about it.
Do it.
Number 1 on my keys to success for this week against the New York Jets is interior pressure. We're already down 2 outside linebackers. We need interior defensive line pressure in both the run game and the pass game. I want to see if we want to talk specific goals. I want 2 sacks from interior linemen on this game, James. And I would like it to be early in the game. That's a side note. That's a side quest. Let's make it happen. Number 2, James, is win the turnover battle. I'm saying this specifically because we're going to be having a different quarterback. I want to make sure that we don't lose the momentum we've had this season so far with winning the turnover battle. I mean, the one game we won the turnover battle and still lost the game, which doesn't happen often in the NFL. So keep an eye on that. That's my goal. And then last but not least, James, it is going to be get 250 total yards of offense. I don't care where it comes from. I don't care who it comes from. Put Justin Fields in there, running back or wide receiver, and throw him the ball. I don't care where it comes. We want to see 250 total offensive yards to try to get a dub against the Jets. And that's specifically, normally I'd go a little different path than that, but that is specifically because of the change of quarterback. I want to see us still be able to move the ball downfield, running, passing, whatever.
Got it. I like it. So I've got some keys here as well. It's just fitting, I hate to go through an entire show and not
crack open one.
not crack open a cold. I know it's Friday. It is not a beer.
Not a beer. What is that energy drink?
This is a Jocko Go.
Jocko Go. Hashtag sponsor, hashtag ad, maybe? No, not yet. Just
yeah,
kidding.
man. Come sponsor us. It's black and yellow. That's why I chose this one.
It is black and
See
yellow.
that?
It's a good color.
Mango passion. Mango
Good color.
passion. You know what I'm passionate about? I'm passionate about ball, and I want to see that for my first key
Running
to
the ball.
success. I want to see Pittsburgh specifically run between the tackles. Let's attack these defensive tackles. They're having a rough time so far this season. Let's go after them. I want to see 150 yards plus rushing after last week's performance. That should be pretty easy to accomplish. So first goal, 150 plus rushing yards. Second goal, I want to see this passing offense get back on track. I want to see at least 2 passing touchdowns. Don't care how they come. Don't care how long they are. Just need to get some passing touchdowns back on the board. So that is key number 2 for me.
Like it.
My third key. Third key, Cody.
Number 3. 1, 2, 3.
Uno, dos, tres.
Am I supposed to guess?
I'm having a tough time deciding where I want to go with the third one. I think the key is going to be to keep Aaron Rodgers on the move. So as much as you want to see defensive line with those 2 sacks, I'm going to say 4 sacks from the whole unit. I don't care who gets them.
Fair.
So I agree with you that it's extremely important to get pressure on Aaron Rodgers. He's not the same guy he was when he was younger. It used to be if you pressured him, he was just going to smoke you and and so you might as well just sit back and hope for the best. I think now the way he is I'm not going to call him immobile, but he's nowhere near. He's younger, especially coming off the Achilles injury. So let me see 4+ sacks, and I think that will be enough to keep him rattled and create some turnovers.
Jeremiah Moon, you heard it here first. 4 sacks on the day.
Man, that boy would be lucky to get that in his career.
Listen, blocked punt, maybe again. Who knows? We'll see. James, score prediction time. Do you want me to share mine, or would you like to share yours?
Go with yours.
My score prediction for this game, James, is going to be very upsetting. 24-17 New York Jets. I'm predicting Jets. This is the one time I'm doing it.
Very mad.
I am.
He's very mad about this Russell Wilson.
I am. 24-17 Steelers lose. The question mark comes into play. What is Mike Tomlin doing?
There he is.
I've never done this in my life of this, so just clarify.
I'm going to give you a very oddball score here today. I'm saying Pittsburgh Steelers 22, New York Jets 21.
Interesting. 2-point conversion wins it for us.
There's going to be something funky going for a 2-point conversion and missing it. Something. Something's going to get us to some oddball scores, maybe a lot of field goals. Not really sure yet, but 22-21, Pittsburgh is where I'm putting it.
Interesting. Well, James, we're going to be very excited to watch this game on Sunday night. Reminder to those people, if you're ever in the Edinburgh area, go check out Edinburgh Hotel Bar. That's where I'll be watching the game this Sunday night with a good friend, Nick Pretzel. Also, for those of you that are in the Erie area or following us on Facebook, the Erie Reader did post their Best of Erie survey. You just go sign up with your email and your name. You can vote for many things: best bar, best food, best podcast. Vote for Steelers by the Lake for that category. There's a ton of things you can vote on. You can vote on best DJ, which is Baumgartner Sound and Productions. That's my good friend Dylan Baumgartner. Voted for him as well. But a lot of things you can do there. We appreciate all the support we get with that from the locals and the people from far away. We don't care where the support comes from. We appreciate all of it. But with that being said, that wraps up today's shows. Don't forget to share your score predictions and 3 keys to success with us on social media. Tweet at us, DM us, comment on the YouTube video, however you want to do it. We will love to see what you guys think Pittsburgh needs to do to beat this New York Jets team. So don't forget to like and follow on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Subscribe, ring the bell. It's free. Don't cost you a mother trucking thing. Don't forget the 5-star reviews and Apple Podcasts. Make James here very, very happy. And until next time, this is your host, James and Cody, signing off.
Peace.